Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Metflix 2022. Metflix is your home for contest caliber videos produced by Middleborough High School television production students. I'm Colin Roque. Middleborough TV Pro students were nominated for 14 student production awards this year, the most of any school in New England. Metflix will feature these videos as well as other MHS TV Pro contest videos. In this episode, we feature documentaries and public service announcements produced during the 2021 to 2022 school year. We will start off with a documentary that earned a New England Student Production Award nomination in the nonfiction long-form category. TV Production 1 student, Adeline Youngclaws, produced the Youngclaws Troop Quadruplets. It is a documentary on her crazy family growing up with quadruplets. Her family gets interviewed throughout the documentary, telling us how life was growing up with the Youngclaws clan.
How did you feel when you found out you're having quadruplets?
I was confused. I didn't know what the ultrasound technician meant when she told me that I had 4 sacs, which is even more confusing because I already had a child, so I know how the process worked.
It was a huge surprise. Wendy came up to where I was working at the time, and I was in a meeting, so I had to come out of the meeting and go downstairs, and it was just shock. I didn't even really know what I was looking at because she brought the ultrasound picture. It was really, I kind of, as she says, turned white. I didn't really know what was happening.
What were your emotions going through on February 12, 2004, knowing that you were going to officially be the parents of quadruplets that day?
I think that day it was, I guess, for me, just all business. Adeline's water broke. I knew that one of the babies did. I didn't know whose did at the time, so I knew I was going to have a baby because the same thing happened when I had Gavin, but that's just one as opposed to 4 babies in my belly. But I was in the hospital for 2.5 months. I had plenty of time to think about or worry what's going to happen. How am I going to go from 1 child to 5 children? I think I kind of had an idea I'd be having the baby soon because the nurses said that my attitude shifted a little, that for being the first person in the hospital in Providence to have quadruplets, that I was very pleasant and easygoing and one of the best patients they ever had. And then I was not feeling as well because I was so big and I couldn't move and it hurt, and I couldn't eat.
I got the news and had to rush to the hospital, so when I got there, they were wheeling your mother out of her room and into surgery. So the biggest thing that, or the most, I guess, craziest thing was that they each quad baby had 6 doctors/nurses that had paid attention to each one. So going into the surgery, it was a lot of people in one room, and it was just chaos. It was probably 30 plus people in there. And then when they were born, I didn't get to see them pulling the babies out, but they would hold them up and say, baby A, baby B, because that's how they identified them while they're in her stomach. And then when baby C came out, kind of funny, Carter, he was actually holding on to Duncan's umbilical cord, and he wouldn't let go. So the doctor's like, this one's a tough one. He's not going to let go of his brother. So they ended up pulling him out. And then they would put you all in your own individual incubators because you're obviously premature.
I don't know if you want to talk about when they came out.
No, when they were born, definitely worried when they were, when you guys were born, because you were premature and they had you in your little incubators. And we used to have to go in and they would feed you through a tube in your nose.
And breathing.
Yeah.
A tube for breathing.
And a tube for breathing. So it was definitely, I wouldn't say worrisome, because I think you guys were, for premature babies, I guess, healthy. But We would have to scrub down and go in and feed you kids. We would have to tip the bottle up so that it would go through your nose and into your stomach. But everybody progressed really,
You guys excited for
really
Gavin
well.
to take the
The
bus?
grateful part of it is,
Yeah.
I don't know how we could be any more blessed to have such
What'd
healthy,
you say?
full-grown
No, he-
children. Like, no, there wasn't
And-
any birth defects.
Yep.
You didn't have any other, problems medically wise. No other diseases, no other syndromes, anything like that. So we couldn't be any luckier to have, kids that were 3 pounds, 3'11", 3'14", 4'3", 4'7", and now you guys, well, Alan's 5'4", and then we have another one that's 5'10" and a half.
5'10" and a half, yeah, that's one of my worries, was because they were born small. I didn't think that they would actually grow to be, I thought everybody would be very small.
It was
Trust me.
definitely a process because not everyone drinks the same amount or gets what they need nutrition-wise, so we had to color code what you guys were drinking and eating, basically, because if I didn't do that with the bottles, I wouldn't know who was, had how much of the sustenance they needed and
Adeline
all
was
that.
purple
Or pink.
or pink.
But it was a lot to coordinate, to set up all the bottles and the feeding times. We actually kept to the same schedule that they did in the NICU, so they had to wake you guys up. I wasn't the type of like, oh, we'll just wait they didn't wait in the hospital for you guys to all wake up. They woke you up, they fed you, put you back, next one.
Yeah, we would wake you all up. So at 2 in the morning, it wasn't always the same 2, but 2 would wake up. And then the other 2 were asleep. So we would wake the other 2 up. And we would, I think, listen to MTV for some
Yeah.
reason. And feed all of you at 2. And then we would put you back. But I will say that you guys were very good about, we woke you up once to feed you at 2. And then you wouldn't wake up again until 6.
It wasn't always that smooth from day one, but you
Yeah.
got on a routine. Like I always
It
say,
was,
that God blessed us. No one was colicky, no one was up all night screaming, crying. It was just, to me.
till you got older and decided that you were going to roam between rooms. That was interesting.
Again, you guys came home separately because you were in the NICU, but we were fortunate to have his mom to stay with us for the first 3 months, and that was helpful for if she could watch you guys while Dave had to go to work, and I would go to the hospital because I didn't want a day to go by that I wasn't visiting one of you guys in the hospital who had to stay back, like Duncan was there for the longest amount of time. So we had Grammy, who was with us for 3 months, and then
Carmen.
we had my Aunt Carmi, who came every Monday faithfully until you guys were 3 years old and went to preschool on Mondays. She came
And what grade?
every Monday, and then my mother would come every Friday.
Gavin, do you think he ever felt left out growing up? Because, everyone always calls us, like, it's always Gavin in the quads, or like the young class clan. Do you think he liked having all of us?
I definitely think that he loved having you guys. He was the most helpful 18-month-old baby who was still in diapers, and he was still a baby at the time himself, but when I was working full-time, he was in daycare, so he was around other babies, so I think that was easier, like, to lead into, like, oh, well, there's always been babies around him. So we would say, Gavin, go get a diaper. Gavin, go get the blue bottle. Or
Go get the bottle,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he'd run, and then he'd, be like, Gavin, hold this bottle. And yeah, I don't feel like even growing up because, I don't know, we treated you all like you're just 5 children, not you guys weren't any different than,
Yeah.
Do you think we got along growing up? Like, all of us together?
I definitely think so. I've grown up with cousins that fought a lot more, and other people you see don't get along. You guys definitely all have your own personalities, even from when you were little. It was clear cut that everyone's different, but you had enough interest and similarity that you guys got along really well for having 5 kids all the same age all the time.
Yeah, overall, though, you guys got along extremely well. And I still think you guys do. And I still think you guys have that quadruplet camaraderie where you protect each other, especially Adeline. She won't have any anybody talking bad about her brothers, period.
How was sports growing up? Like, how did you manage all of that?
That was a lot to manage, especially if you were all on the same team, athletics-wise. Athletic, you know, some were better than others, so some would be on the B team, some were always on the A team. So to try and manage how to get everyone where they needed to be and keep that schedule it was a lot. I would put on the calendar, I'd put on my phone to make sure that we got you everywhere you need to be. And then I think it was the equipment that I think was the struggle to find all the same sizes for all you guys to be able to have your, you know, everything you need for your sports. We did a lot of, because when you grow, you only wear that for like one season, so we did some exchanging, like bring it back and go into the consignment, but yeah, what do you think about the sports?
Yeah, it was something that we actually kind of required of you guys to play a sport each season. So, and it ended up I pushed you kids into hockey, with the exception of Carter, who didn't want to play hockey. So it was expensive for sure. But yeah, we always do, and we still to this day tell you kids that if you're not going to play a sport, then you have to find something to do. You have to find music or art or TV pro, or you know, whatever your interests are. You have to do something besides school. There has to be an extracurricular activity, and every one of you has taken to it. Some more than others. Some more go to sports more than well, that's not true. I guess they all do kind of gravitate towards sports.
We offered other things if you guys want to take like piano lessons, or if you want to do ballet or gymnastics, but nothing ever stuck as much as the sports did. But definitely a challenge to try and coordinate and get you guys everywhere you needed to be.
Especially on different teams, that was tough. And with an older brother. So you had your older brother who was obviously on a different team, and then you guys at different levels of what you were playing were obviously on different teams. So, or I shouldn't say obviously, but we're on different teams. So it was a lot of, I would go one place, she would go another place. So, yeah.
Tell us how you incorporated animals into our family.
Well, I've always grown up with dogs, different types of dogs, Weimaraners, Labs, and Chesapeake Bay Retrievers, but I gravitated towards Chessies. These are Chesapeake Bay Retrievers, and we originally had Murray, and since he passed, you got Quincy for your 10th birthday, and then I decided to make the quarantine decision of getting another Chessie, and this is Mako.
We
Yes.
had, when you guys were born, we had Murray, as you said, and we had two cats who were really great cats. They were really good with you being babies as quadruplets, because they went from just one little baby around to 5 little babies who would lie on them, pull their tails, kind of chase them around, and these cats were the nicest cats. We've continued to have cats. We have 2 cats now. We've had 3 cats. We have bunnies. That didn't work out so
Not a fan of cats.
well, but yeah, always animals. I grew up with animals. Our parents have animals. My parents.
So as if our family wasn't big enough, we decided to add to it with the pets.
2 dogs, cats.
2
Everyone
dogs.
says we're crazy when we have 7 of us in the family. Oh, can I ever say a fun fact?
Yes.
7 of us in the family, because you guys are quadruplets and you share a birthday. We only have 3 birthdays for 7 people in the family, because Gavin was born on my birthday. So there's August, there's February, the quadruplets, and then he has June. That's my fun fact. 7 people, 3 birthdays.
Mabel, say hi to the camera.
Do we say hi?
Say hi. Good girl.
Here we are, quadruplets. Okay, so I'm Adeline. This is Brody, Carter, and Duncan. Yes, it goes in ABCD order, like we said. You guys want to say anything about yourselves?
I don't know. I don't got much to say. I'm Brody. I was the second one.
Third one. Fourth one.
First one. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys a couple questions. Growing up, did you guys like sharing a birthday, or how did you feel about it?
No, it's bad.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like when you have a birthday, it's supposed to be like the day that's like all about you, and like everyone celebrates it for you, and then you just have to share it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like a birthday is like meant to be an individual thing, but I guess I don't mind sharing it.
I don't really have an opinion. I've never not shared a birthday, so.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I guess it's like normal to share a birthday because we've been doing it our whole life. When people ask us, oh, how's it like being a quadruplet? I don't really know how to answer that question. I feel like we all probably have the same answer, but my answer would be like, well, it's completely normal to me. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's crazy. It's a fun fact, but my whole entire life I've been a quadruplet, so.
It's like we've never even like known what it's like not being quadruplet, so it's like, what's it like not being quadruplet? Like that's what I would ask people.
Yeah. What do you guys think the best part about being a quadruplet is?
We're all the same age, so like when we were little, we all wanted the same thing. We could all like play with each other when we were little.
Yeah, it makes it easier going to a school. You already have someone, like 3 people that you know, and you've known them your whole life. So it's like, it's pretty easy that, because we all have pretty similar interests too. So it's like, whenever we go through something, we're going through it with 3 different people at the same time. So.
During school, did you guys like having, or I know we've already really talked about this, but did you like having another sibling like in each class, or how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I definitely liked it. Like in elementary school, when it was like, it would switch, like you would rotate through like each sibling having each year. So like, I guess that was kind of fun because if you had enough of one of those siblings for 1 year, then you move on to the next one. But yeah, you would always like have a friend no matter what throughout elementary school and like still throughout high school and middle school. But that's kind of when the classes got like a little bit more different, so you didn't have as many classes. But when I do have classes with my siblings, like it's always good to know that I'll have at least one person that I can talk to in class.
Same thing. I don't really remember much about when we switched classes, and we had different person every year. I don't know who I had each year, but
You don't?
No, I don't remember. But I guess it was better than having nobody.
And I did like it sometimes because I can just take their answers.
That's the only
That's
person.
true. I do remember that.
I feel like I liked it when I was younger, or like I do like it, but I always liked having someone, like, when you meet new people, it's kind of scary. Well, not really as a kid, but you know, teachers like, oh, partner work, project, or whatever. You'd have your brother, or for me, I would have my brother, to do that with. But like, I did go to a certain age where I was like, oh, I want to be alone, like in middle school, you know, that stage where I'm like, I wish I had a class, just my friends and whatever. But that was like short-lived, and then I ended up being like, oh, I wish I had my brothers in my class, so I can talk to them, because obviously we're smarter, some people are smarter than others, so we don't have the same classes now.
No, you just wander and then find us.
Yeah, I eventually find them.
She shows up to everybody's lunch.
Yeah. So a lot of people ask me this question. I don't know if they ask you guys this question, but do you guys think twin telepathy is real?
Yes.
We can test it out right now.
We could.
Alright, think of a number 1 through 5 and say it out loud in 3. 1, 2, 3,
4!
4!
Oh!
You got 3?
I got 3.
Me and Carter got 3. Duncan and Birdie got 4. But the funny thing is that me and Carter, growing up, we have this crazy twin telepathy. So he would mumble a lot when he was younger, like a little baby. He'd just mumble.
Well, mean of you.
No, like when he was a baby, like when you're like first starting to talk.
Oh.
And my dad wouldn't know what he was saying. And then so he would call me over. Like, he would be speaking gibberish, not just mumbling. He just wouldn't say, like, English.
Speaking German. That's
Yeah,
a little bit.
German. And he would call me over and be like, Adeline, what is Carter saying? And I would know every time. Carter would be like, yeah, that's what I was saying. Which I thought was kind of interesting, like, funny story. But there was one car ride when we were driving to the Outer Banks, which is a very long car ride. And me and Carter were like, oh, I wonder if we can, like, you know, think of the same thing or whatever. And so we were doing it, and like it was almost every single time or every other time where we would get the same thing, and
It was creepy.
we were going crazy. And
I
then
remember
eventually we were doing it so much, and it was so funny that our parents had to tell us to stop because it was just getting annoying. Think of an animal. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Zebra!
Let's go.
I actually was thinking of zebra too.
Going off of looking up to each other, do you guys like look up to like us, or like how do you guys feel about like I don't know, for me personally, you guys motivate me to do better. Like throughout all of high school, because there's a point where we almost went to different schools, and I was really upset about that because I wanted to go to a different school than the boys, but I was like, well, I want to graduate with them, so that was hard for me. And then my motivation throughout high school is just to graduate with my brothers and stuff like that. So I feel like it's like very important to have them by my side in high school and stuff like that. Like they always cheer me up and stuff, so and they always motivate me to do better and help me with my homework and all of that. So.
I definitely agree with like it helps having like the other three, because like I feel like we all have our own things that we're more skilled at than one another. So like if I struggle with a certain thing, I just think of like, how does Adeline do it, or how does Carter do it, or like how does Duncan do it. Like if it comes to sports, like Duncan's pretty already athletically gifted, but he also works hard. So like if I want to like get better, I like work hard, and it's easier to work hard when you have someone in your house working as hard. That's just one example.
Yeah.
I only look up to him if I don't know anything in math.
Yeah, Birdie's smart, so sometimes he can be our tutor. I like to call him.
And football. I don't know anything about football.
Yeah, I feel like interest-wise, we all have pretty much the same interest in sports, but like it like when it comes to like shows and stuff like that, I've kind of started watching like more of stuff that Carter watches that I used to never watch, and I feel like Carter's watched a lot of what I watch that he used to never watch. So like that kind of interest has like blended a little bit more as of recent.
I think that we grow off of each other's strengths. So, and we build off of it. Ending it off, we're at the age now where we're going to college.
Some of us.
Some of us are going. We're gonna split our separate ways. How do you guys feel about that? For me personally, I'm really sad because. Anyways, I'm really sad because I've always had them like my whole entire life, and this is like the one time that we're all gonna be separated.
Well, we're not dying.
So we're not dying. Like we can text each other and stuff, but I don't know. It's sad for me because I always have you guys.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I never really thought about how it's gonna be, because I guess I always knew that it would come eventually, like when we all have to do our own thing in life. But I mean, there's still a possibility of me and Duncan going to the same college, so.
Have much of an opinion. It's not going to be much different. A little boring, maybe a little quieter.
Definitely.
I think it will like hit us when it actually happens. Guess that's all I have to say.
Hi guys.
This is the Young Class Clan.
I'm Dad. Duncan, Carter, Adeline, Mom, Brody, and Gavin.
Just in case you forgot.
Throughout this whole documentary.
And Quincy and Maple.
The quadruplets wasn't always easy, wasn't always great, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Take 5.
Are you hungry? How about some cookies? TV Production 3 students Layla Petty, Ryan Fahey, and Olivia Austin produced a video on how to make chocolate chip cookies. They go in depth and tell you everything you need to know to make the best cookies you'll ever eat in your life.
Oh, you're just in time. Come on in. I was making some chocolate chip cookies. All right, let's get started. First, we're going to add 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour into a medium-sized bowl. Next, we're going to add 1 1/4 teaspoons of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're going to whisk the flour, baking soda, and salt together. Add 1 cup of granulated sugar and 1/2 cup of brown sugar into a medium-sized bowl. Cube 1 cup of butter and add it into your sugar. Cream your butter and sugar so it's easier to add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Add 1 egg into your sugar and butter mixture. In a cup, I have 2 tablespoons of milk and 1 1/4 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we're going to whisk the wet ingredients together. Now you're going to slowly add the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Now you're going to add your 2 cups of chocolate chips into your batter. Once you're done adding your chocolate chips, you can preheat your oven to 375 degrees. With a tablespoon measurement, add the dough onto the tray. Now we just have to pop these in the oven for 11 minutes. Now let them cool down and enjoy with your friends.
To Be a Team is a short documentary produced by TV Production 3 student Kira Yaffe. It's meant to inform and portray the true meaning of being on a sports team at Middleborough High School. This film demonstrates to the Middleborough High School's varsity volleyball team that being on a team is more than just wearing a jersey and competing in games, but being on a team is about lifelong bonds and friendships that are created throughout each season.
Hold on. I got encouraged to play volleyball pretty much through other people in the grades above me. I knew some people who were older and played volleyball, and my brother had some friends who played it, and they just loved it. So I was like, why not? I got encouraged to play volleyball, honestly, in 5th grade when we did it in gym class, and I just liked the vibe of the game. I got into volleyball when I was in 3rd grade, and I went to a softball tryout thinking it was volleyball. So I had on my shorts, I had my knee pads on, and then I realized it was a softball tryout, so I did mess that up. But then once I got to high school and started playing volleyball, I got just so excited. It was everything I hoped it was.
Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
I got encouraged to play volleyball when I was a freshman. I wanted to try out a new sport and I chose volleyball. And seeing all the varsity girls playing their favorite sport. They had so much energy and so much love for their sport. I wanted to be just like them. And Coach Green really loved his girls, and it was just really lovely to watch them all work together as a team, and I wanted to be like that someday.
Why did I become a coach? So once I finished playing, my direction was to become a teacher. So when I decided, teaching and coaching were very similar in that I had a passion for volleyball. I decided with my friend that was already coaching that I would just help out and volunteer, and then that took off from there. So I went from volunteering and coaching, and then realizing that it was something that I enjoyed and wanted to continue doing. So I just followed that path until it brought me here. So that path has kind of gone from teaching middle school players and young kids to now going all the way through college players and now back to high school.
What it means to be on a team is just being like a family. It really is just like a second family. Like when you have a team that works, you're successful. Like talent is a thing, but it's also just like the teamwork is what really matters. My favorite part about being on the team, I would say, is the energy. Like when you get that point, being able to celebrate with your team or just being able to share the same emotions.
I think being on a team really means, like, to me, it means being connected and like having fun with your teammates, knowing your teammates, just knowing that you guys can rely on each other when you guys need it, knowing that you have that trust and like communication that you would want in a teammate.
Qualities make a good team. It amounts to how is it that they work together, especially within volleyball itself. You're relying upon not only yourself, but the other 5 players on the court to perform at a level that is going to generate some sort of positive outcome. So if you're looking at what is it that the person next to you is doing and how they're doing and what are they doing and how they're doing it, those are all different ways, aspects within volleyball that make a great team. So it's not just necessarily a one-person show. There's somebody else has to touch the volleyball in relation to what you're trying to do in your outcome. So how is it that you're working together, and how is it that in our scenario here, how are you bonding over positive outcome?
Thicker than blood, that's deeper than love with my friends. People coming.
My favorite parts about being on a team is just the energy you get from each other. It's just so good and it's vibrant and it's just really like contagious.
My favorite part about being on a team is the bond I create with all my teammates. We always do bonding experiences together to try and get closer, and we just all love each other so much, and it makes it so much easier on the court when we all like each other so we can win the point easily.
My favorite parts about being on a team is getting to bond. Like, we recently had a session where we all did pumpkin carving and we all hung out. We all went by the fire, we took photos. It was so much fun. I just love bonding with my team because that's like the best way to get trust and have that like communication with each other. And I love bonding with my teammates.
So my favorite part of being a part of a team, the camaraderie that is made with teammates, it can be lifelong. And that's the exciting part of it, is that these people that you may not know 100% at the beginning of the year now generates to the end of the year where you're just saying, hey, I know you now, and you can be friends, and working together again to make something out of nothing.
Timeless phase kicking songs. When I am blind in my mind, I swear they be my rescue, my lifeline.
When competing in games, I most look forward to the huddle after each point. Whether it's good or bad, we always make sure to hype each other up in the end and get our energy up to win the next point.
Spending time with the team. Like, I love playing volleyball. It's like my favorite sport, but really being around all the girls is my favorite thing. My favorite part about competing in a game is like after scoring that point, being able to go in as a group and just like celebrate, or if you don't get that point, being able to come together and talk about what you missed and work on it upon that.
My favorite part of competitive games is how working together as a team, you can gain a level of success. So my best outcome was winning a state championship when I played, and I can still remember that team and that game and that point and the results of each one of those things and how that feeling felt after the success of winning that match at the end of the year and going away knowing that you worked so hard in that with the people that you were with.
When competing in games, my favorite parts is like getting to celebrate as a team when we've all gotten the point and we're all yelling and screaming on the sidelines and on the court. Like everyone's just super excited and happy. I also love when our JV team puts up a bunch of signs they made for us. It's just so cute, and it's like the best feeling knowing that they're there and supporting us.
We've all got our dreams, we've all got our
So my favorite part of being a coach is actually seeing the growth of the players. So it's a little bit different than like me as taking a competitive aspect of it. There's a benefit to all things when I can show growth to somebody else. So their excitement, I live almost vicariously through their experiences and challenge myself to be better than for them. Not necessarily for myself when I'm competing. I'm looking out, how do I get better? How do I do these things? It's now, how do I get somebody else better, and how do I get them to feel the successes that I felt when I played or when I was playing in that sense.
So I will roam until I can say this feels like home.
Thank you to my team for creating memories that will last forever. I love you all.
This road that we're on was it meant for
TV Production 1 students Reese Monahan and Taryn Gomes produced a documentary titled A Day in the Life of a Sachem, featuring freshman Will Donahue. Let's take a walk through their daily schedule with Will to get to know some of the classes offered here at Middleborough High School and what's so great about them.
What does it mean to be a sachem?
It means to include people, like you.
Hey, homie. Hi, I'm Will Donahue. I'm an upcoming sophomore at Middleborough High School. I'm a member of Student Council and a current member of E-Board. What's the day in the life of a sachem like? I'll take you through my schedule and show you. First up, I have honors geometry with Miss Pisley in room C273.
Honors geometry is one of the funnest classes I've ever had. Miss Pisley makes math so enjoyable, even when it gets really hard. I really hope to have Miss Pisley in the future because she's such a great teacher.
So, second block, I have honors world history with Miss Miller at C258.
Honors World History is a really interesting class. I really enjoy learning all about the cultures from around the world. Miss Miller is a super fun teacher and truly helps me to understand the material. Everyone in my class is open-minded and collaborative.
Third block, I have art of theater in room A131. This is art of theater class. In this class, we learn about ancient theater, we get prompts, we write scripts, and we perform it in front of the class. This is an extremely fun class that will help you with your self-confidence and learn to speak in front of people. On B-days, third block, I have gym with Miss Morano in room B114.
Gym class is a very refreshing block to my day, especially when we go outside. All of the teachers help to promote a healthy lifestyle and help me gain skills to excel in sports.
After third block, I'd have lunch.
Lunch is a great brain break for me. I get the chance to see some of my friends that are in different classes from me and catch up on their day.
To end the day, I have French 1 with Miss Redpath in room C 358. J'adore le français! After school, I have track practice, where I throw disc and shot put and run the 100-meter dash. Attending Middleborough High School has been one of the best experiences I've ever had. Everyone here is so nice and inclusive. All the teachers are so kind and help you whenever you need it. Every student here is extremely welcoming. You can make friends wherever you are, in any class.
TV Production 2 students Zoe Perriman and Jay Bellardino created a documentary that promotes STEM education and advertises Middleborough's Borough Bots. Let's have a look.
Is a 501c3 nonprofit makerspace with the goal of educating people and empowering people to make stuff. We have kind of a couple, hopefully, endpoints. One is that someone will come here, learn how to do this stuff, maybe start their own little company, something like that. The other is that they might gain some skills here that they can use to get a job. And then the third, I think, is just the more general, hoping to inspire people that they can do an awful lot more than they think they can, just by learning a couple pieces of software.
I would recommend many people to go to Borough Bots because it's a great learning opportunity, and as I previously stated, there's many jobs out there in the world today that require this expertise.
A few weeks ago, I 3D printed this, and this is actually a pattern for casting aluminum. And I had a lot of help learning how to print it and design it and slice it all up. And this is so you can make 4 at a time. And this is the finished product when it comes out.
So a big element of our makerspace that we've always wanted to do is to focus on, I guess we'll call it workforce development. And that's to teach someone a skill that they can then use to get more or better employment and make more money. And we just opened up a class for adults where we're going to be teaching the basics of CAD design, which is something that's used in a ton of different industries, and we're going to teach them how to translate that into 3D printing. And I guess more specifically how to use that pathway to make useful things around the house or someday to prototype their own inventions. And so that is our first attempt to teach adults. That is happening 2 weeks from yesterday, the 21st and 22nd.
Right now, I'm actually working on keyboard stuff. Like, one of the examples, this is my personal project, I'm not selling it, but I do want to end up selling keyboards.
I guess just a huge thank you to the town of Middleborough for donating all that they've donated and helping us to put this space together, and a huge thank you to all of our volunteers that come every week to try to help us build and solve problems around here. It's a massive team effort, and there's no way we ever could have put this together without everyone's help.
Here at MHS, we have an incredible little place called the Cranberry Cafe that serves home-cooked meals each week. It's run by students and interns to help those who run it learn essential life skills that will be useful for them when they enter the workforce. Devin Costello from TV Production 1 created a short documentary to tell the world the story of the Cranberry Cafe.
I think I would have to say the Mexican soup they served a couple weeks ago was really good, and any of the desserts are wonderful.
Oh, I think that having the students work in the Cranberry Cafe, there are so many aspects to the Cranberry Cafe. We shop for the products, we prepare them, we cook everything. Everything is homemade, even right down to the salad dressing and the croutons. And then they have to bring it over here, they have to serve it, they have to do money, we have to do a profit and loss. There are so many aspects to the Cranberry Cafe that will help these kids get jobs later in life. from soup to nuts. We do it all. So I think it's a great job for everybody. Anybody in the whole building would be awesome learning all these job skills.
Wow, my favorite lunch at the Cranberry Cafe is probably the baked potato, because there's so many different toppings that you can put on it. I don't know. I don't think there's anything that I would add. I think you guys are doing an unbelievable job right now. I can't say there's anything that I would add to that.
TV Production 1 student, Nirvana Cragen, went around the school to both students and staff, asking simple questions ranging from their favorite foods and singers to bigger topics like politics and global issues. Stay tuned to learn some of their answers in this video titled The Truth About MHS.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Cakewalk.
What's your biggest fear? Spiders. What's your opinion on COVID?
I think it's a bad disease. I don't like it.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Kids being rude.
Rate your day 1 through 10.
I'm gonna give it a 6. 8.
So right now, we just had a fire drill, and we have to stop the video, but say hi to everyone. Dylan, what's your opinion on this fire drill?
It's dumb.
What do you like most about school this year?
It's quite nice.
What are you listening to right now?
I'm listening to A Place by Playboy Cardi.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Donald Trump is better than Joe Biden.
No. And that's the truth.
Grant Davis from TV Production 1 took a walk through the wilderness of Middleborough. You won't believe the things he finds out there. Let's watch outside.
You can go to hell, my dear. You probably like it better there. With all them boys who thought they could make it, dead man's curve gonna lay them down. All the things you put me through, safe to say I'm tired of you. Had our times, yeah, we had a few, but where are we gonna be when the pills run out? Where are we gonna go when the dam breaks loose and the white line fever gets a hold of you? How are we gonna make
Is this? Yeah, it's ice. Yeah, there's ice under the water.
It's supposed to be a belly flop too, my guy.
I'm trying to feel it.
Oh, there's not ice. Okay. I'm going over there. Hold on.
Yeah, this ain't ice. This is solid. Alright, let's go. Watch out, this is like a really weird ice layer, so. Let's go, Jack.
ground if you won't get up and leave. I reckon if I chose to stay, it'd be better for a few more days. But in the end it always rains, and honey, you can cause a storm. But I'm tired and soaking wet, and hunkered over trying to catch my breath. Broke my back and did my best to hold you through the shakes.
But it's hard to keep floating on a foundered dream. You're taking in water at crazy speed. How can I get to the shore on time if you won't keep afloat? My heart was never much on games, let alone the ones you play. I've only got one and it's already broken, so why you wanna...
I think it's more. I'll do it. Wait, no, let me do it first.
Why?
So I want to.
You can come up with me.
No.
I'm going up there.
I will too. I'm going up first though. I wore my backpack. I used to wear my backpack up on my kickstand, and I got it stuck in a branch and it pulled me backwards, and I almost had a heart attack. Yo, look at this. Oh my god. Look at that.
Yo, boys, you got a deadhead now. Yo, don't touch it yet. Take a picture.
Nope.
Oh my god, hold on.
Can you get the antlers off of it? Alright, you're good. Let's go.
This is so cool. Okay, let me walk in front of you.
I'm calling my dad. My dad. No, let's call him when we get back.
No, I'm calling him right now. I don't care. The lights, my boys.
Oh, yo!
We missed it.
What?
Dam breaks loose and the white line fever gets a hold of you. How we gonna make it to higher ground if you won't get up and leave? It's hard to keep floating on a foundered dream. You're taking in water at crazy speed. How can I get to the shore on time if you won't keep afloat?
So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, dude, it's a 5-point.
And there's a kicker right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only had drop times.
I would box any of you for drop times.
You can go to hell, my dear. You probably like it better there. With all them boys who thought they could make it, dead man's curve gonna lay them down.
To show the importance of kindness, TV Production 1 students Olivia Pincus and Sarah White went around the school to ask people a simple question: what's the nicest thing someone's done for you? Some of these stories will really brighten your day.
What's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you? What's the nicest thing you've ever done for somebody?
The nicest thing somebody's done for me?
Nicest thing anyone's ever said to me?
Nicest thing someone's done for me is...
I remember one time when...
The nicest thing anyone has ever done for me? What's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for you?
A couple weeks ago, my favorite bracelet broke, and my coworker bought me the exact same one for Christmas and gave it to me like a few days ago.
The nicest thing somebody's done for me was cash at me $10 to buy coffee.
anyone's ever said to you?
The nicest thing anyone's ever said to me was Mr. Brannigan. Like this year, he told me that he was really proud of me and like all that I've like came to do this year and like over the past 4 years. Considering I haven't loved school, but like I'm here, I'm living, I'm vibing, doing the best I can, and he like really showed that like he supports me and like that he cares, even though there's like 300 kids in the school that he could care about too.
The nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me is probably like buy me Dunkin' Donuts before school.
The nicest thing that someone has done for me is gave me money and I didn't have to pay them back.
The nicest thing someone's done for me is my best friend giving me rides to and from school about every day for a year.
I remember one time when I was at a restaurant and I had a bar of chocolate with some ribbon around it and like candy canes and stuff, and I gave my waitress that, and she had been having a really hard day apparently, so she cried, and I remember that being really funny and sad, but yeah.
Give me 5 gummy bears.
The nicest thing anyone has ever done for me was call me when I was crying and stay on call until I was okay.
The nicest thing that someone said to me is that I had a really pretty smile.
Leekan Satanwa of TV Production 1 sat down with 2 of our history teachers to ask them about their daily lives here at MHS. Ranging from lesson plans to downtime to interactions with students, some of their answers may surprise you.
My day at school, what is it like? It's fast-paced. An honors class in the morning, kind of flying around, try to make it real for them. My day at school, what is it like? You know, I try to get here early, I guess. I'll look at my emails and try to make sure like everything's set up for the day. I'll make sure that, you know, whatever, if we have something in classroom or something like that, that's all posted and set, and like the objectives or whatever we got to work on is all kind of set, you know, and then just kind of, you know, executing, you know. So we got your class, got an honors class in the morning, and then my AP European History class, which is a lot of fun, and then got my Block 4, which is also, they're a great group of kids. So, you know, you go in, you try to tackle whatever the objectives are for the day, and you try to do that in as a fun way and as engaging way as you can, and you know, you just do the best you can.
I'd say as a history teacher or any teacher, it's pretty fast-paced from the time we get to school until the time the last bell rings. We're kind of flying around and doing the best we can to do as many things as possible. So I'd say the best way to describe it is fast-paced.
How do you make history interesting?
You know, I try my best. You know, I think that in general teachers probably teach the way that I think maybe resonates with them. And I know, you know, when I was in high school, I had like teachers who tried to tell great stories and try to, you know, try to make it real for them and try to, you know, tell you about maybe some of the stories that aren't just in the history books or just in like, you know, like whatever the research you do online. So, you know, I try to do my best to try to bring some of those stories to you guys and tell you the human element and human side of it to maybe make it a little bit more relatable.
I think the best way to make history interesting is to focus on the narrative and the stories and the connections between people's lives today and the things we're talking about in class. So whether it's Constitution era or progressive era or civil rights, it's things that are applicable to kids today, you know, and it impacts their lives. So we try to connect whatever we're learning about to daily life today, and then to also tell the interesting stories that are in the background that I think help make it a much more full picture.
All right. Is there a reason you have an interest in the subject?
I have always been kind of a history nerd. Most of the books I read are about historical events, but I would say the reason I became a history teacher was the most dynamic person I had in my life growing up was my high school history teacher, who was also my track coach, and I just thought he walked on water. I thought he was incredible, and he really got me interested in both track and in history. And you know, I think about I kind of think about that a lot, that you know, he had such a profound impact on what I'm still doing to this day. And then I think about that when I'm in the classroom, that it's like, you know, you never know the impact you're going to have on kids' lives like that history teacher had on my life, so, so long ago at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I think that when I was growing up, I just had always found like the human history and stories, just interesting. I think history is so important for, obviously why we're here and what civilization has gone through and what different groups of people, how they developed over time. And, I just think I always found that interesting. Growing up, I was always like a big humanities guy, so, I liked English too, and I liked reading, and, I think history is just one of those things that, I don't know, spoke to me, I guess.
What's your philosophy or your style of teaching?
Okay. My philosophy is definitely that I want to try to reach, as many students as I can, and try to do my best to make sure that everyone's successful. And I want everyone to do as well as they can, while still trying to have like high expectations and high standards, and really trying to push my students as far as they can go, But I at the same time, I want to create like a positive, like welcoming environment that also has like high standards and expectations, where hopefully kids come into my class.
I don't know if I have a specific teaching style or philosophy. I think that everything we do in class has a purpose, and the kids' time is valuable. So we try to make sure that we use all of the time to achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve, whether it's learning how to write, learning specific facts from history, or how to be a good citizen. We try to use the time as best we can.
How would you handle a difficult student?
Okay. I think it depends what we mean by difficult, but I think my first go-to is just to try to talk to I would try to talk to the student and try to talk to them as a person and kind of see where they're coming from and see what's going on. I think that's my first go-to, is whenever there's a behavior that's really shouldn't be happening in the class, I try to sit down and talk to this person and be like, well, why is this happening? Why are you behaving this way? Is there something we can do to try to make your situation better or make whatever's happening?
How would you describe your presence in class?
My presence? I don't know. I think I'm relatable. I guess we'll leave that up to the kids, but I think it's, I hope they consider me someone that's easy to get along with, and someone they look to as a resource on their educational journey. I would hope that that's the way I'm perceived in the classroom.
I feel like I have pretty good relationships with my students. I might not always be the guy to joke around or that kind of stuff, but I try to, be positive, be welcoming, be affirmative, while still being true to kind of my personality, I guess.
All right. Can you walk me through a typical lesson in class?
Yeah, sure. So, I think generally when you have you want to have a good structure in your lessons, you want to start off with probably something that connects back to what you learned about last time in class. You want maybe whether that's a Kahoot or a bell ringer or something like that, just to get you guys thinking, connecting back to what you learned last time in class. Then whatever the main objective or the goal is for that day, you try to have. I try to structure and balance it with some new content and try to teach you guys some stuff, but try not to overwhelm you maybe with too much lecture or anything like that.
Typical lesson, we try to balance independent work and teacher-led work. So probably start with an introduction to whatever the topic is, then some analysis on primary sources, and then probably putting it together at the end, whether it's through a writing assignment or a presentation. We try to include both student-centered and teacher-centered work as often as possible.
Now on to public service announcements. A PSA is an advertisement for a good cause. We'll start off with a PSA for a great cause, Best Buddies. Best Buddies is an international organization that focuses on friendships, leadership development, and inclusive lifestyles. Middleborough, as a community-driven town, has made great strides bringing social inclusion into a concrete reality. Chapter President and Television Production 3 student Kaylin Pravanchi interviewed a few members from the group to demonstrate making friends through our lens.
Best Buddies was great and awesome.
Best Buddies is amazing.
and it's an amazing club that I think you guys should be in.
Best Buddy awesome!
Best Buddies is inclusive and it's a great experience.
Best Buddies is a place where everyone can meet new people and make new friends.
It's an awesome, fantastic place for people of all different abilities.
I like Best Buddies. It made me feel happy, excited.
Best Buddies makes me feel really happy and enjoyable.
I overall enjoy being in Best Buddies.
Best Buddies makes me feel included with a group of people, having fun and making new friends.
Really welcomed, even though I'm not like the most fantastic person.
It's science!
Depression is no laughing matter, and so many teens today struggle with it. TV1 students Zoe Perriman and Kevin Helene created a short PSA to help bring attention to this important issue. Underage drinking is a more widespread problem than people think. Ava D'Amelia, Makai Landau, and Mike Schifoni from TV Production 1 created a PSA to spread more awareness of the issue and its dangers.
Underage drinking is a public health problem in the U.S. Drinking is responsible for 3,500 deaths in 2010, 1,000 years of potential life loss for people under the age of 21. The point is to never drink under the age of 21 because you won't only be hurting yourself, but other people too. Drinking alcohol as a teen should never be seen.
Don't do drugs. I'm sure you heard that message 1,000 times before, right? Well, too bad you're going to hear it again. Sampi Gentapanan of TV Production 1 created a short PSA about drug use.
Hi, I'm sure you've heard this many times before, but don't give in to the pressure of doing drugs. I know you'll probably say, why shouldn't I do drugs? But why support the possibility of having or obtaining an addiction? Why pay and get such things when you can form an addiction and constantly crave for them? In the short term, it may have a little effect, but in the long term, it will have a much more negative effect, like certain drugs can increase the possibilities of certain cancers and illnesses. If you are associated with someone who is taking or pressuring you to do drugs, remove yourself from a life-threatening, dangerous situation.
Have you ever left the house and your parents yell at you to drive safe and you just ignore it? Well, maybe you should heed their words more carefully. Ryan Mason and Jaden Lorenko from TV Production 1 created a PSA to talk about driving safe.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and driving is something you should take seriously. You need to make sure you're being a safe and cautious driver.
Alright, so the first step to being a safe driver is fastening your seatbelt. You wear a seatbelt to prevent injury in an accident.
The next thing you want to do is start your car. Make sure your foot is on the brake first. Fasten your seatbelt and then pull out. Also, keep two hands on the wheel while driving to make sure you always have full control. You also want to make sure you use your blinkers by turning.
Here are some examples of safe driving.
Thank you for watching. I hope we taught you how to be a safe driver. 1.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe for some more content.
Turn on that post notification bell to never miss a video. TV Production 1 student Brian Moreau produced Peer Pressure, a PSA about a high school student that convinces their friend to try a vape. Listen to this video and avoid something you'd never want to do in your life.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good.
You want to try some of this?
What is it?
It's a vape. It would be really cool if you tried some.
No, it's bad for me. I would never harm my health. If a friend ever asks you to do something that you don't want to do, just walk away. There are a lot of issues out there that need public attention. Of all those issues, Trevor Peterson and Sean Oster of TV Production 1 felt that the issue that they needed to bring to light was cow tipping. Let's see what they had to say.
Man, I'm bored. Wonder what I can do today. Oh, I see it. Gonna push it over.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you think you're doing? That cow has feelings too.
What? I don't care. Ah!
I told you. Should have listened to me when you had the chance.
TV Production 1 student James Lee produced How to Use a Chair, a quick PSA video on how to properly use a chair. Take a seat and watch this creative video. We love our pets here in Middleborough. TV Production 1 students Alex Gavani, Bert, and Jake Jordan produced the commercial Fresh Dog Soap. Have you ever been frustrated when washing your dog and he doesn't come out clean? Fresh Dog Soap is here to change that. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Jake Jordan, and let me tell you, I have been using this dog soap for about 4 years now. And this dog soap is the best dog soap that I have ever used, hands down. I have 3 dogs. One of my dogs, his name is Mako. He's a Doberman Rottweiler mix. He gets so dirty at the park, and when I bring him home, he looks like a dog that I have never seen before. Brand spanking new. Look how elegant this dog looks with the bath during 4-in-1 Fresh Dog Soap.
So, if you ask me personally, like, if you ask me, what would I wash my dog with? You know what I'm gonna say. 4-in-1. Obviously. You ask me, what is good to clean my dog? 4-in-1. What smells good for your dog? 4-in-1. Man, I'm about to... Don't even get me started. 4-in-1 is perfect for your dog. I took my dog to the park the other day. My dog... Ooh, that boy stunk, boy. Boy, washed him with this. Boy came out white. He was black before. Craziness. Y'all gotta buy 4-in-1. It's flying off shelves like crazy.
Take a look at this satisfied customer cleaning his dog. I've used all kinds of soaps. Dial, Dove, Irish Spring. Nothing compares to fresh dog soap, 4-in-1.
Hello, my name is Jake Jordan. I have been using this dog soap for as many years as I can remember. Let me tell you, when I first started using this dog soap, I had some doubts. I thought maybe this wasn't a dog soap for my dogs. But then one time, my dog Mako, he went to the park. He got so dirty, and I came back, and he was the cleanest looking dog I have ever seen after using this dog soap on him. Now, when I use this dog soap, it makes me think of something so magnificent.
TV2 students and siblings Adeline and Carter Youngclaws believe that the animals in the wild are nature's greatest gift to us. With the climate changing and habitat slowly disappearing, it's important to protect these beautiful creatures. They created a PSA to help get the message out there. Let's take a look. TV Production 2 students Riley Coleman and Toby Shanks created a commercial that's trying to sell shoes to the consumer that allow short people to reach new heights.
Have you ever gone to the grocery store and you just couldn't reach something on the top shelf? Here's the end of your problems. Introducing Boingaroos. The Boingaroos allow you to jump at maximum altitude to reach everything you could never reach before. They come in all different sizes. Just tie them up and jump. Not only are they helpful, but they're extremely comfortable. They only cost $39.99. Call BOINGAROO8 to place your order today.
The next commercial is going to showcase one of the most revolutionary inventions of the 21st century. These infolenses allow you to customize the UV exposure that your sunglasses will let in. This was created by Gavin Fritz and Brian McDonald of TV Production 2.
Time to relax in the sun and listen to some tunes. Aw man, the sun is too bright. I can't relax and my day's now ruined. Stop right there. The day is never ruined when you haven't even worn sunglasses yet. What do you mean? These glasses are the solution to your problem. Introducing the Infolenses. Infolenses are the all-purpose sunglasses that allow you to change the way you see the world. While you're outside, Infolenses allow you to change the UV exposure let in from the lenses by turning the knob so that you can have the best time to relax without sun ruining your day. Wow, it works! These are amazing! Definitely gonna buy a pair. Sure thing. For a great price of $299, you are able to buy the glasses that allow you to see the full capacity of the world. Buy yours today at www.infolens.com or by calling 989-476-INFA to get yours today.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Netflix 2022. Be sure to check out our other 2 episodes of Netflix featuring music videos, shorts, sports highlights, and much more. I'm Colin Roque, and have a great night.